If you've ever used an email forensics tool to investigate a suspicious email, you already know the frustration. Now, most email forensic software gives you a header summary, maybe an IP lookup, and then leaves you to piece together the rest for yourself. This process is manual, it's slow, and there's often a significant cost if you're bringing in a forensic specialist at $250 to $400 an hour. So if you're looking for a professional email investigation software that actually goes the distance, that's exactly what Mesher was built for. So Mesher is a professional grade email forensics platform, and it goes deeper than anything else on the market. Now, most tools will parse a header and just call it a day. Mesher doesn't stop there. It traces geographic footprints across routing hops, performs threat analysis on IP addresses, detects deception patterns like spoofing and phishing, analyzes power dynamics and behavioral signals within the email body itself, and then cross-references all of that against your own investigative hypothesis. Now, it can compare what's said in the body of an email against what's hard-coded in the headers and flag where those two things don't match. It can detect regional spelling patterns that hint at a sender's true location, it can trace geographic clues buried inside host names, and it can identify manipulation, coercion, and misconduct baked into the language of an email itself. Now, this is the kind of analysis that used to require a forensic specialist billing anywhere from $250 to $400 an hour. Now, Mesher puts that capability in your hands at a fraction of the cost, available the moment you upload an email. Getting up and running in Mesher is really straightforward. Start by signing up for an account. Once you're in, you can jump straight into a case, or if you're working as part of a team, begin by adding your teammates to the account so everyone is ready to go from the start. Now, before you upload a single email, Mesher gives you the opportunity to define your case hypothesis. This is what you believe to be true about this investigation. Your hypothesis doesn't need to be fully formed. It might be as simple as, I think this email is suspicious, or as specific as, I believe a former employee is attempting to defraud the company following their termination. Whatever you have, a hunch, a pattern, a name, you can just enter it all right here. Now, from this point forward, every email that you upload into the platform or into this case gets analyzed through that investigative lens. All you need to do is give the system a theory and it will work to prove or disprove it. Now, once your hypothesis is in place, you're ready to upload your first email. Now, it's worth noting that Mesher operates on a zero data retention AI policy. So your emails will be analyzed by AI, but the AI will never be trained on your data. Now, once uploaded, Mesher immediately begins its analysis chain. So here's what happens under the hood. So first, Mesher will extract every technical detail embedded in the email headers. There's no analysis here yet, it's just the raw facts. Next, Mesher examines geographic signals. Now, this is one of Mesher's most powerful capabilities because there are actually two passes here. First, we have a technical parse of the hard facts, followed by an investigative inquiry that produces probability scores and unique location findings, piecing together clues from things like time zones, hop timestamps, host name patterns, and more. Mesher then maps every hop the email took to reach its destination, building a complete picture of the routing path and the infrastructure that it passed through. Next, what will happen is that Mesher will look for the hallmarks of manipulation, spoofing, phishing, header forgery, and other technical deception tactics. Then, after that, Mesher will go through its conduct analysis pass, and this is where Mesher goes beyond the technical. It analyzes the context of the email within the body itself, looking for things like exploitation, threat patterns, power dynamics, and behavioral signals that speak to intent and conduct. And then finally, everything the system has learned is cross-referenced against your case hypothesis. So every signal, every flag, every finding gets evaluated for alignment with your theory. And Mesher tells you whether this email supports it, contradicts it, or leaves the question open. Essentially, each step feeds its findings into the next step. So by the time the chain completes, you're not looking at raw data any longer. You're looking at layered, structured investigative findings. Then, once analysis is complete, your results appear here as a series of email cells on the case's main email page. As you can see, each one is a clean, human-readable summary of the most important findings. Now, along the top, a set of tabs lets you toggle between different views of the analysis. So first here, we have the case view. So this essentially is your hypothesis alignment. You're going to see here your relevance scores and investigative summary. Next, we have geo view. Now, this view will show you your location tracing, your routing maps, and geographic probability findings. Over to the right here, we have Deception View. Now this will show any phishing, spoofing, and technical manipulation signals. And then lastly here, we have the Conduct View. And this is going to show a behavioral analysis. It will show language patterns, power dynamics, and threat indicators. Now, at any point, you can click to view the raw email, which is a human readable header, a routing map, and more, all along the left here. You can even add notes to any email or flag it as key evidence, supporting evidence, contradictory evidence, or inconclusive. Essentially what you're doing here is you're building a curated evidence trail as you work. And whenever Mesher needs to make an inference rather than a definitive finding, it will always publish a probability score. So let's just click on Geo here to see an example. So here you'll see we have a probable location based on time zone data, for example, rather than a confirmed IP. Essentially what's happening here is it's showing you a prediction score alongside the number and type of signals that inform this score. So you'll always know the difference between a hard fact and an educated deduction. Also worth mentioning here is that as you work through your case, you can also add case participants. Now, these are the known actors in your investigation. So you'll be able to do things like upload a name, a photo, an email address, and a role for each person. And then Mesher will automatically surface that context throughout your analysis. So instead of staring at raw email addresses, you'll now see faces, titles, and roles, making it immediately clear when an email moves, for example, from a CEO to an investor or from a suspect to a victim. Now, one last mindset shift that'll serve you well as you use Mesher is that you need to think of each individual email as a clue and the full thread as your compiled evidence. Now, not every email will be a smoking gun. Some will be inconclusive, some will be noise. Your job is to flag what matters, filter out what doesn't, and let the patterns emerge across the full body of evidence. Mesher gives you the tools to do exactly that. So there is no other email forensic software on the market that does what Mesher does. So if you're ready to investigate at a level that was previously only possible with a specialist on retainer, head over to Mesher 1 and start your free trial today. I'll see you on the inside.